Hi guys, welcome to this private Q&A session for the week of August 23rd. Thank you all for joining. We're gonna start off with some trading questions. Thank you, Patrick, for keeping us on point. Let's go to screen share. We are on screen share. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna close this, and we're gonna start typing. First up on the docket is GM. General Motors, here we come. Wow. That is a very nice candle on an MRI with a top on extension C. How much have we fallen? That is a 25% correction. That is nothing to sneeze at. And that is a very nice looking weekly MRI buy. How does it look on the daily? How about that? Holy shit. Okay, that is a great find. That is a daily MRI buy and a weekly MRI buy. Damn, man, you are on the ball right here. That is really, really nice. I like it. Yeah, this is great. I really like it. I'm gonna put up a potential bullish trade. Your stop loss is today's low, and your target should go close to the MRI top. That would be sweet. Man, look at the top too. Like the MRI just called it. I mean, yeah, there was a green star candle and some consolidation. I probably would have been bullish right here. But that extension C on the weekly would have caused a little bit of concern. I really like it. Yeah, I like this. What else you got? Nice find. CRSR. Hey, Patrick, hit me up. Did you know how to message me on Telegram? Message me on Telegram. I'm gonna put you in a beta MRI notification service. Okay, what else we got here? CRSR. I thought we looked at this. Is that the one that has like MRIs all over the place? No, it's on a weekly 8. I thought I looked at this recently. It looks good. It looks good. Let's see green arrows here. Yeah, I like this as well. We got to come back to some of these one day. You know, I'm gonna do this here. Going all the way down to the swing low is a little much. So I'm gonna go down to Friday's low. That's that. But again, the target's probably a little bit less. I'd probably use something like that. I just want to have these in case we come back to these stocks. ACST. Yeah, GM still looks the best. Oh man, that's too late. Yeah, I should have got in last week. See, this was nice. I wouldn't get in now. I know it's on a weekly MRI buy as well. Oh, we've tried this before, haven't we? That did not work out very well, did it? Yeah, so no, I'd want a revenge trade. I'd want to do a revenge trade. A little late though. Damn, wish I saw it earlier in the day. Sucks. Let's do a revenge trade. It kind of sucks. Like I wouldn't buy in now. Like this is a big day, you know, it already moved like ridiculous percentage. And now your target is like very bad. It's like a 50-50 shot. It's better to just almost stay away at this point. Like if you can get in like early in the day, like had the trade been here, that would be way better, like at market open, but it's not. And like doing it now kind of sucks. Space. Virgin go. Oh, this looks nice. Daily after a huge correction. It looks great. How about the weekly? Weekly still has a little bit of room, but doesn't look bad. I like this. I like the way the candle is set up. Very low risk. Very low risk. Yep, there you go. Maybe a little bit lower. That's okay. All right, let's see what happens there. All right, cool. Thanks for the stocks. Yeah, and hit me up on Telegram. All right, we're gonna look at an Indian stock, Reliance. I don't see it. I need the ticker. Oh, 1L, not 2. Reliance, there it is. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. See, let's look at this. It's like a year of consolidation. Weekly chart. It could break out. Gosh, I like the general shape, but I think there's better stocks out there. I mean, I'm more bullish than bearish, but I'm not really excited about this. Generally, if rent equals mortgage on buying, is renting still a better choice financially? It depends on your family situation. Like for me, renting makes way more sense because I don't know where I'm going to be living in months, forget years. Buying, depends on where you're buying. I prefer condos. They come with HOA fees. Remember, it's there's additional cost with all this stuff. So buying also has tax implications. Like if you're renting, you could also, I guess you can deduct if you have a business as well. You can rent out, under your business, you can deduct that as taxes. I mean, I prefer renting at the moment, but I mean, it depends on your personal situation. Renting is always more expensive. Sorry, buying is always more expensive than renting. It's never equal. Buying and then like 5 to 10 years later, it becomes cheaper, but definitely never at the time. What's the agenda behind the masks? Well, I have no idea what the agenda behind the masks is, but right now it's all political, right? Like if you are a socialist leftist, you're all about the mask. If you are more on the right, more for freedom, more for your rights, you are not going to want to wear the mask. So a lot of it, mostly it's political theater, and that's the main reason. I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories that the mask is actually causing you harm. I believe that it causes more harm than not. I believe that wearing a mask will make you more unhealthier than healthier. If you are full-blown sick, I understand why, like Asian culture, if you are sick, you should walk around in a mask. It also informs the people around you that you might be sick and that they should be careful and they should wash their hands more. Also, just in case, you don't touch your face. But if you're not sick, if you are not aware that you're sick, the mask is more likely to make you sick than not. That's my personal view on it. Should probably stop screen share. And there was enough medical evidence to back this up. It's just that most of that evidence is censored, or you have to find it on like alternative sites that people ignore. How nutritious is yogurt? It's not bad. I don't eat yogurt, so I stay away from yogurt. I mean, it's better than, I mean, there's some, I stay away from it, but it's definitely more nutritious than crap. It's okay. It's on that border of should you or should you not eat. But just be careful with which yogurts. Like they're not all created equal. So when I say yogurt is borderline nutritious and good, I'm talking about some of the highest quality, some of the best ones. Because if you don't pick wisely, then please don't eat. How bad is Taliban taking over Afghanistan? I honestly have absolutely no idea. I am a little more concerned with the tyranny in the West with COVID restrictions and political capture and fraudulent elections for the rest of my life than I am with the oppression in the Middle East. Sorry, that's about slightly different priorities. Canada seems to be the first G7 country to default. Yeah, Canada might be the first. Why would a country ever default? Don't you think every country will just print? Yes. I mean, Canada can just print. Well, they're going to default within themselves, right? Because Canada has a 0%, like fractional reserve banking needs a zero backing. At least in the US, it's like 5%. 5% is exponentially higher than zero. So Canada will eventually default, and everyone's going to get anyone whose IQ is over, I don't know, 80 is trying to get the fuck out of Canada. All right, guys, send in more questions because otherwise this is it for the day. I don't mind. Told people I have a meeting around 1 o'clock. I'm at a office with some friends that, well, I'm not going to say what they do, but school office. I'm in like the side room. All right, we got, sure, you want to ask something, go for it.
Hey, Tone, what exactly happens when a country like Canada defaults? Like, what happens exactly after that to its citizen?
I mean, other countries don't buy their bonds for a little while. Like Argentina seems to do this every decade. The interest rate goes up way high on other countries giving them bonds, and then they make a deal with the IMF and stuff. So what usually happens is, this doesn't usually happen to Western countries like Canada, like US, like Europe, unless it's like Eastern Europe. But in Latin America, what happens is when a country like Argentina defaults, then the international banks, the IMF, the World Bank, and the elites don't give them any money unless they allow the Western countries to come and pillage their industries or their natural resources. So for example, we'll take a small country in Latin America. I'll just pick one randomly. Let's say Guatemala. I just randomly picked one. And Guatemala defaults on their international debt, mostly to the West. And so they show up, like some representatives, and say, well, because you defaulted, we're not going to give you access to the US financial system unless, well, we're going to put a McDonald's right here. We're going to get, this company here to come and, take over your banana trade. Oh, you have a pineapple. Oh, you can grow pineapples too. Okay, so this American company is going to come and they're going to manage your pineapples. Oh, wait, you have some natural resources. These are very, we're going to bring in this mining company. And so basically they start to rape and pillage the natural resources of the country and also take over their industries. It's like, oh, hey, wait, you need to stop growing your own rice. You now need to start buying rice from this international company that sources it really cheap from Asia, where they've done the same thing too. So they've already taken over the rice growing. So all of a sudden, a bag of rice goes from like, 20 cents to like $2. So that's what happens.
So is a country defaulting on its debt also bad for the wealth of the private citizens?
Well, yeah, it's terrible, right? Because what happens is the private citizens start to lose control of their like farmland and control their own natural resources, and the politicians just sell all that shit, to the highest bidder. So it's bad. Now, for a country like Canada that are part of these international cartels that rape and pillage developing nations. I don't know what happened there. Probably nothing would happen to them, and that's why they probably won't default. They can print. They're a big nation. They have the support. I mean, all these countries. I mean, they're going to switch currencies. I mean, this is why they're all moving away from paper money. You can't default if there's no paper money. So you can just always control how much your citizens spend, and you can control taxes. Once there's no more paper money, then the government can just say, hey, you know what, when you get your paycheck, the paycheck goes through our central bank before it gets to you. So we decide how much tax revenue we're going to take if we get the rest of the money.
That explains it. Thank you.
All right, guys, anything else? Hey, so Urshul, please, you should read Martin Armstrong's blog. I started reading it again, then I got busy again. Read Martin Armstrong's blog. Just try to read as much of it as you can. You can never finish it because like he writes like multiple articles per day and he's been doing it for like decades. So you'll never get to the end, but just keep reading. Just keep reading, and you really start to understand international economics and money. I generally ignore his trading views, but I ignore everybody's trading views except my own. But I love reading about his views on economics and the history of money.
Would you like to answer a sort of a small case study?
Sure. So I don't have any other questions, so go for it.
Actually, in India, what's happening is there is a telecom company called Jio, Reliance Jio. I asked you about Reliance because it's the biggest company in India. And what's happening is there was some Supreme Court case going on regarding the adjusted gross revenue of these telecom companies. The basic essence was that Jio had to pay very little because it was started very late. It was started in 2016, and rest of the companies were there for like 20 or 30 years. So like Idea is a company and Airtel was a company, and like both of them had to pay like about 10 billion or so, and it's a very big amount here. And so they were not happy with it. And since Jio, the prices of like internet and calling have gone a lot down. Like it's very cheap. The companies are, I think they are running at losses at these prices. So like what's happening is now Vodafone Idea, they merged. Two of the biggest companies, they merged to face the situation. And now the Vodafone Idea chairman, he has stepped down, and he's asking the government to buy up 27% of the equity. The basic reason was that the debt was about like 200,000 crores, and the equity market cap was trading at about 20,000 crores, like 10% of that. They are essentially bankrupt. So like now people have a mixed opinion. Some people say that the government should go for helping Vodafone Idea, because if Vodafone Idea fails, it would turn into a monopoly, because then only Airtel and Jio remain in the picture of telecom, and like monopolies are bad. So, and some people are like the government shouldn't bail out the Vodafone Idea companies. So what is your like opinion on this situation?
Man, I really don't know. I mean, it should be just, I mean, I do believe in a free market, But it also sucks when a big company comes in and undercuts the competition, and then takes the competition out of business and then jacks up prices.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm okay with like rules and laws that prevent that part from happening. But at the same time, there really needs to be free market competition on, providing cell phones. And you gotta if Indian companies can't do it, you gotta open it up to Elon Musk and Starlink. Because if people of India have very good, cheap internet, that benefits India greatly. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's an Indian company promotes it. I mean, your
Yeah.
people will get wealthier across the board because internet is everything. So it's just a stupid vision that an Indian company needs to provide the best internet in India. The point is to have the best internet in India at the cheapest price, because that
Yes.
helps the population the most. So it's just
A lot.
misaligned incentives, and governments are, they always have their hand out. Whoever pays them more, they'll get it done. There's very few initiatives that actually help the people. So my view is it just needs to be opened up to global competition, like call Elon and just have Starlink. I mean, Starlink can benefit most people per capita in India. I mean, that's what they should do if they're clearly having issues with their local companies and monopolies.
Okay, that explains it. I asked you about milk in the last stream, right?
Mhm.
That was because once you did an episode with Crypto Wednesdays.
Did an episode
And
with who?
yes,
I'm sorry, I did an episode with who?
with Crypto Wednesdays, it was like all about nutrition and crypto. You
Oh,
was
did I publish that on my YouTube the other day or something?
no. It was on their YouTube channel. I have watched everything which like you are invited
Oh,
to. So I watched it. So I have watched it twice. So in that, the person who was the host, he was of the opinion that milk is bad and like milk breakdowns bones. And after that, like you did not disagree with that because he switched on to another question. So that is why I thought that you are of the same belief about milk.
no, I just, I mean, I personally don't drink milk much, but I'm not afraid of milk, but it has to be like whole milk and as natural as possible. So obviously from grass-fed cows, organic, grass-fed is step one. Unpasteurized is step two. But ideally, milk isn't necessarily needed, but I don't think it's inherently bad if it's natural.
You like green tea.
Hmm?
You like green tea.
Yeah, I drink green tea a lot. Well, not lately, but yeah, I prefer tea. All right,
When
hey
do you plan to
Mark.
come to India,
Yeah, go
by the
ahead.
way?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I have been to India. I was there in 2019. I was in Delhi, Agra, and
Jaipur.
yeah, Jaipur. Yeah, so I did the triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drove. It was driving in India is very interesting.
You come to India and I'll be the host.
Are you in the south? Are you in the south?
Yeah,
Oh, where are you? Where are you based? Are you in the south?
I'm near Delhi. Near Delhi.
Oh, you're near Delhi. You're in the north. Yeah, next time I come, I'm probably gonna go to the south. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go,
you will come to Goa.
like Goa, Bangalore, maybe Mumbai, maybe.
I'll come to South, na? I'll come
Yeah,
to South. We'll meet.
perfect, perfect. All right, hey Mark, how you doing, man? Do you have any comments?
No, not yet. Just listening.
All right, cool. All right. Oh, motorist is here too. Motorist, you got anything to say?
No, I'm just, I'm glad I finally got a chance to jump in on your Q&A. I know I've been a part of the group for a long time. So
Where are you?
where am I? Oh, I'm still in Glendale, California.
Okay.
I'm going to be during BitBlock Boom, I'm going to be in Vegas. Unfortunately, I'm going to meet up with Mel. I think you know Mel
I know Mel, but Vegas is a shit show right now, man.
well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna ride. I've been to Vegas. I've driven to Vegas maybe 100 times from LA, but I've never taken a motorcycle. So it's gonna be fun to motorcycle to Vegas to get that experience.
Yeah, you saw I finally blocked McCormick. I couldn't take it anymore, man.
Yeah, and I actually like this guy on Twitter. His name is Ben Prentice. He's McCormack's producer. He's actually a really good guy. He's I consider him to be one of us. He's not like McCormack, but he's a good guy. And I think McCormack gets a lot of shit for stupid reasons. But the reason you blocked him, if he's going to lie about you, my rule is if someone lies about me, that's an automatic block. So that's a fair block. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna end up calling it a day, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys. All right, we are back recording for this private Q&A on this Wednesday, August 25th. We got a bunch of questions. I'll try to give this a full 30 minutes, and then we go from there. All right, I really feel like I just talked politics on the public stream. So let's see if there are any financial questions instead of nutrition or politics. And most of it seems to be nutrition and politics. So I do want to take a look at one stock that another friend of mine asked me about, and I did not look at it on a public stream. I will save it for the private stream. And that is ticker DOX. Let's go take a look at that. I'm going to do screen share on this. And let's take a look at DOX. DOX is a recent IPO that is doing really, really well. This is one of those IPOs that never corrected at all. So normally, you guys always hear me say that on an IPO, you want to wait for a 50% correction before entering. But then you have situations where it does not correct 50%. So how do you manage those IPOs? So to manage those IPOs, you have to just let it move for a while. Let's see how much this corrected when it eventually did correct. When it eventually corrected, it corrected for 30%. But this 30% correction never brought the price down below the original price point. This means that this tells me several things. One, this company is very strong. And two, this company priced their IPO very reasonably. And they did not overhype the IPO. I have no idea what this company does, by the way. So now, when that situation happens, you have to wait and see it break the prior swing high. Now, it's interesting that the swing high is being broken right after an MRI top. So that means I would be comfortable going long this asset on the green star candle. Again, we're all talking hindsight here. Long on a green star candle, and as you can see, this trade was a little bit troublesome. Now, if you got in properly on this candle as it's breaking this area, you were still able to participate in a 14% upswing, which for a stock is a very good move. Now, had I been in it at a perfect time and picked up 15%, I would have set a break-even stop loss, which would have taken me out of this trade the following day. And now you have to stay patient once again. Now, the next trading opportunity you get is, of course, off the MRI buy. Unfortunately, this MRI buy comes at the same time as an earnings announcement. So this would have been very risky to go long off the samurai buy, but that was the low, and earnings shot this thing to the upside, breaking the MRI resistance, breaking the prior consolidated swing high. And we continue to go higher coming off a green star candle. So right now, this stock is in a perfect uptrend on a weekly scale, and it's on a great uptrend on a daily scale. So if I was holding this asset, even though it has already gone up over 100% since the IPO in June, I don't see any bearishness in this asset. So while you can certainly take some profit at any time, you could also buy some puts to protect it. This chart to me is very bullish. And considering I am bullish the stock market, I remain bullish on this asset for now until it falters. Canaan is another one that I should be taking a look at. And Canaan looks very bullish on the daily chart. What about the weekly? Not very bullish, but certainly bullish. And the weekly chart doesn't look too shabby as well, coming off this move, more neutral, slightly bullish. So there you go. All right. Oh, we have a list of more stocks. Let's stick with stocks, and then we will move on to other questions. Let's take a look at a few more stocks here. We have Highland. Let's see what you look like. So here's Highland. I think that was that stock that had the daily MRI buy and the weekly MRI buy and the monthly MRI buy. And look at this thing pop. Wow. This looks great on a daily scale. This looks bullish on a weekly scale. We're just starting to bounce. And on the monthly scale, we are starting to bounce. So I don't see a reason to walk away from the bullish trade on this asset. So yeah, I talked about this the other day. I actually forgot the name of this asset, but I certainly messaged my friends about it. And yeah, remains bullish right off these MRI buys. This wasn't even an MRI because it just went up so much right off the warning sign, but it was also a weekly MRI buy. It's just, I talked about this like last week, that this was the absolute perfect trade. And this perfect trade off the MRI daily warning, knowing that the weekly MRI is coming, had gone up 16% in a matter of days, and it's still up 9%. If you were able to time it even better on Friday, it's up 11-12%, which is great. Still looks bullish to me. I would love to keep an eye on this going forward. I should probably put one of these green things up. I mean, I really think that this thing could go up quite a bit. And obviously stop loss is below the swing low, which I will already be setting as a break even. Next, we have JMIA. We looked at this quite often. Wow, what a beautiful, another beautiful trade. I believe my friends took this one as well. And we are bouncing right off the daily MRI along with the weekly MRI. I mean, this is how you're supposed to time the asset. There are thousands of stocks out there, guys. You don't have to chase anything. There's always something that's in line. Right now, the overall stock market is bullish, so you should be looking for bullish opportunities, not bearish opportunities. And you should be looking for those bullish opportunities where the weekly and the daily chart align to be bullish. And JMIA was one of those, and what absolute perfect trade right off the MRI buy. It's probably already up 15%. Those of you that know how to trade options, you can take serious advantage of this. 20%. Wow, incredible, awesome, absolute perfect trade. There's nothing more I can say. And we've talked about this one quite a bit for over the years. ON, I have two more stocks to look at. ON, wow, look at that. I've had this green thing on here, so that means I've talked about this stock in the past. I don't remember it at all on semiconductor. I talk about a lot of stocks. There's no reason not to still be bullish. You have a daily MRI buy, perfect daily MRI sell, and I would of course be setting a break-even stop loss, probably already higher than that. I want to make sure I walk away with money on this trade. I think you can make it all the way to the MRI resistance line, and then you'll reevaluate. But a little bit of a bearish candle today, but hey, nothing goes straight up in a day. remain bullish on this asset. GM. Hey, Yusarn, how many of these are you in? Oh, this was the General Motors. This is another one where I talked about having potentially a perfect bullish opportunity with a daily gorgeous buy reversal candle and a weekly MRI buy. So GM was setting up for a perfect trade. So let's see if this can make it all the way to its MRI resistance line. So I give you speaking privileges if you want to answer how many of these trades you are actually long in. If you want to answer, how many of these you?
Yeah, I'm only long now in GM. I've cashed out of the first three, Killian, Jumia, and On.
So you've already profited from 3 of them, and you're still long GM.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Did you just buy the stock, or did you use options?
Yeah, I have no idea how to use options, so
Okay.
I just buy it.
Okay. Yeah, if your trading continues to do well in the future, you may want to consider that options webinar that I have for some more leverage opportunities to profit from these trades. But yeah, hey, great job, man. Sure you've had a very good week this week.
Yeah, it's been great.
Excellent. All right. I'm gonna close this out. Okay, I got a bunch of questions. They're not exactly trading related, so I'm going to take the camera off, try to go through them as quickly as I can. So let's go ahead and begin. A lot of them are from Rashul, as usual, who is really interested in my views on things other than trading, which I do appreciate because I like talking about stuff that's other than trading sometimes. All right, here we go. Why do you think there is a recent shift towards veganism? Where is this agenda coming from? I don't really know. I'm not into conspiracy theories. I could only guess. A lot of it is just misinformation. A lot of it is misunderstanding. And a lot of it comes from control over other people. The thing is, like, controlling agriculture is a lot easier than controlling like your own farm. And being vegan, I believe, makes you significantly unhealthier. And the more unhealthier a human is, the more money there is to be made off that human. So most industries, including most leaders, are not looking out for your best interest because that's not where the money is. Eventually, it just comes down to money. What's your best suggested way to eat eggs? Yeah, so my best way to eat eggs is only egg yolks with as little cooking of those egg yolks as possible. Make sure you buy pastured eggs, not cage-free. Ignore cage-free labels, ignore organic labels, ignore all those labels. Only one label that matters, and it's not going to be a label, and that's pastured. Here's the difference. When you see eggs at the supermarket that say organic, cage-free, that's great. Cage-free means their cage is open, so they have the option to walk out. Think of a cage-free chicken as you having a bed inside a McDonald's where you get free food from McDonald's, but you're allowed to walk out of the McDonald's. But why would you want to? You're getting free food, and you're told that this food is healthy. So I hate labels of cage-free and organic, because it just means they're feeding these chickens organic corn and other stuff. And their cage is kind of open. So what you really want is pastured, where the chicken is running around eating worms, not chicken feed, worms. And you can see that in the color of the egg yolk, significantly brighter orange. And I like to cook these egg yolks as little as possible so that they're fairly runny. Okay, next. How the F do you even get away with like shadow banning you? I mean, look, I'm totally shadow banned on Twitter now. Maybe they'll unshadow me one day. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna keep saying what I think, and so be it. All right, next. Natural milk versus lactose-free milk. I don't even know what lactose-free milk is. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Is it even milk? I have no idea. Almond milk versus coconut milk. Well, they're very different, right? Like I have no idea what lactose-free milk is, but look, we already talked about milk. I would love to drink, you know, raw, unpasteurized milk from cows that eat their natural diet of grass. Not corn, grass. As far as almond milk versus coconut milk, I think they're both okay. I actually tend to, like if I don't know where my milk comes, like if I'm ordering a cup of coffee or usually like matcha at a coffee shop, I used to order it with coconut milk. Now I tend to order it with almond milk. I'm okay with nuts. I think almond milk versus coconut milk are very similar. They have completely different nutritional profiles, but I think they're both fairly on the healthier side. And they're probably not as healthy as clean raw milk, but they're probably healthier than the crappy milk that's at that coffee shop. So that's why I choose either coconut milk or almond milk, and it's your preference over milk at any coffee shop. But if I had, you know, if I was living in Tanzania, for example, I would just get my hands on raw, on that's what I would do. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm saying I personally would prefer raw, unpasteurized milk from clean cows that eat their natural diet of grass, not hormones or corn or other garbage they feed cows. Other cows, whatever they feed them. A cow should be eating grass. That's it. Again, not a doctor, not a nutritionist, not medical advice. Earlier, I used to think like in India, 99% of the states have exact same laws across the nation, only a few small differences. Then now I have shifted. Laws should be different and different states should have more autonomy. Yeah, I agree. Let the states compete with each other on laws and we'll see which one people prefer. Different direct, yes. The competition is great. Same thing with countries, yeah. Like these, when every single country in the world is pushing the vaccine initiative, it's bad because you don't have that competition. What would people prefer, right? I mean, as far as I know, like the only government regime that's not pushing vaccines is like the Taliban. Like, what does that say, right? What does that say about competition? I mean, Tanzania was against vaccines and COVID testing, and look what happened to their president. I agree. Competition between states within a country is very important. Same as competition between countries. Right, I got 3 more questions, guys. Don't you think Willie sending out the newsletter and price dumping immediately? It was very hard coincidence. I mean, I've seen it happen with other people, even with myself occasionally. It will be scary if, yeah, look, here's the thing. I believe it was more of a coincidence than not. Do a lot of important people read Willie's newsletter and could have acted on the information and helped the price plummet? Yeah, it's possible, but it was probably going there anyway. And if Willie starts to have this kind of influence then there will be too many people on his side of the trade, and the market will do the complete opposite. This is why no single person ever has full influence on a market, not even Elon Musk over Doge. As more and more people realize the kind of influence a person has on the market, that influence immediately flips, and that person ends up generally looking like a fool. That's what happens historically for every single market. So my opinion is it was Willie was, it was 80 to 90% coincidence, and maybe 10 to 15% he helped, may make it true. But it's majority coincidence, and not even coincidence. It's like he was right. That's all. It's not even, I shouldn't even say coincidence, right? He just informed of something that became true, and maybe assisted a tiny bit, but that's about it. Great call by Willie. Everywhere I read, it says soya has very high good protein. I call bullshit. Why is there so much lies about soy? Soy is cheap, and going back to what I said earlier, the goal is not to make you healthier. The general goal is to make you unhealthier, because that's where the money is. Money is the answers to all your questions, is generally money. Just look at the food pyramid, for God's sakes, that they tell children to eat a bunch of bread and corn and soy and God knows what else. It's hard for me to take a 3-year view on the Indian stock market because I'm not that familiar with it. I took a look at the chart last week, and the chart was bullish. And that's all I can say, both the weekly chart and the daily chart. So my short-term, mid-term outlook is bullish, but that's all I can really say. All right, guys, that's it for questions. Hope you enjoyed that. Hey, Pasha, Kieran here. Any couple of stocks you want me to look at before I head off? Jovi, you're here too. I know you guys have positions on. But if you're not going to send me any stocks to look at, we're going to end up calling it a day. It's going to be hard for me to do one of these on Friday or Saturday because I'll be at Big Black Bull. So this might be the only Q&A for the week because tomorrow I fly out there. Jovi, you got your hand up. Sure. What's up?
Oh, hey, yeah, we can go through. I have a few positions on. The website I'm using from you has been really good. So there were a lot of bottoms on the weekly and dailies. Should I type them out or just?
No, you can just tell me.
So BN, one is BNGO.
Am I on screen share? I don't think so. Let me pull that up. Yeah. All right, so this is BNGO. Wow, okay. You went long off the MRI weekly and daily buy. Nice trade. You're still long?
Yeah, I'm still long.
Yeah, I would be too. Probably put in a break-even stop and slowly raise the stop. I would probably, depends on where you got in. I'm assuming you got in on this day.
Yeah, just as we
23rd?
broke above the prior day.
23rd or 24th?
23rd. So when we broke
23rd,
above.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be comfortable setting a stop loss. Probably make sure you get a little bit of a percentage, but I would love to see this go up a little bit higher so I can just set the stop loss to the low of today's low going into the weekend. That'd be great.
Okay. I have also ACST.
ACST. Oh yeah, look at that. I have a line on here, so that means we've looked at this in the past. I guess I got in on this a little bit late. Would have been beautiful to get it right off the MRI pie earlier, but I wasn't going to cheat. And this came up very close to the MRI resistance line. So that could have been a decent profit take. In fact, when I randomly drew this, look how close I came to
Yeah.
where I had it drawn. So probably a few cents off. But I would still be bullish here. The weekly MRI buy just started. So yeah, this looks good. I wouldn't really panic sell yet. Just make sure you don't lose money on this trade at this point.
Okay. What else do we have? GM, we already went through. HYLM, we went through JMI.
So you've had
Roku,
you've
Roku, I don't think, pardon?
You've had a good trading week if you were on all of those.
Yeah, those were really good calls by the MRI. This one isn't doing much. What? Yeah.
Yeah, Roku isn't doing much, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too scared on this yet. See, this one didn't have a weekly MRI, just a daily,
Mhm.
right? So in fact, see, and this is what I mean. See how the weekly hits an MRI top?
Mhm.
It had a 1 to 4 candle correction, but it's still not reversing yet. So the weekly MRI is bearish, and you're fighting the weekly MRI. Look at the last weekly MRI.
Mhm.
And again, it took it down for quite a bit. I wouldn't panic yet, but the main reason why this one isn't performing as well as the others is, the weekly is still, your bullish trade based on daily charts is going against a higher level weekly trend.
Right.
So I'd watch this carefully. I would tighten up that stop loss.
Okay.
And if it's not performing well tomorrow, I'd cut the losing weight and stick with the winners.
Okay.
Cut bait. I'd cut bait.
Okay. SPCE.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. Yeah, this looks great. A little bit of a down day today. The weekly is still on an MRI, but it's coming to an end. I would stay patient here. And I would still be somewhat confident in the bullishness of this trade. Maybe a break-even stop loss, or you might even stay patient at the swing low. And the reason I would stay patient is the weekly did not hit a 9 yet, so did not hit the MRI buy yet. So I would stay generally patient here.
Okay.
And this is one of those rare occasions where if this trade is going against me, but I like what I see at the weekly MRI buy, I would consider doubling down a losing position, which is rare in my trading style, but it's one of those rare exceptions.
And why would you consider it?
Well, because there would be a better, stronger signal for a buying opportunity of the weekly MRI buy versus the daily MRI buy. You took the daily MRI buy, but it might have been slightly premature, where this is only going to be a 1 to 4 day upswing, and then one more shot at a daily MRI buy that's more in line with the weekly MRI buy. So I would either cut this trade if it starts losing me money, or if it's not a big position, I would stay patient and double down. Ideally, I would clearly you're able to find other good trading opportunities. So since this is already in the green and you're making money on it, I would just set a break-even stop loss, but I would keep this on my watch list for a weekly MRI buy opportunity coming up.
Okay. And then I got Nikola, NKLA.
That's that Chinese competitor to Tesla.
Yeah. I think it was on a daily and a weekly. Yeah.
A daily, weekly. It looks good, and nice consolidation here near the bottom. I like it. I would stay patient here and leave a stop loss. Probably my original stop loss.
Okay.
Maybe raise it a little bit, but looks good. This thing has fallen quite a bit, so there's definitely some room to the upside here.
Okay, and then the last one is VRSN.
Don't see that.
Oh, V as in Victor. I think this had a double, just a daily, yeah, double daily.
Just a daily. This would have been a scary situation. If
Yeah.
I went long off of this, I
Yeah.
might have just taken the L right here and just been,
Yeah.
kind of pissed a little bit. Did you hold through this swing?
I did.
Okay. Was there a reason, or you were just like hoping and praying?
You know what? I can't remember. Maybe I got sloppy. I can't remember what made me stay through that day.
Okay. It might have happened very early at market open, and
Yeah.
like if you've watched my risk management videos, you know that I never panic in the first 15 minutes of trading.
Right.
And if this happened in the first 15 minutes of trading and it was already back up here, I would have just been, okay, so the scare is over. Let's see what happens the rest of the day. And I'm very,
Yeah.
very, confident at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you'll probably be up on this trade as well.
Yeah.
I would, in this case, since we're already halfway up the MRI count with only
Yeah.
10 minutes left in trading day today, this will probably close this way. But remember, tomorrow, we're probably going to have a red one here. And
Right.
while a red one itself is not going to, kill me, and also if you notice all of my other green targets, always stop right below the MRI resistance.
Mhm.
So you should have considered taking profit right up there, because look how it perfectly got rejected by the MRI resistance. And if you just review this video, you'll see that most of my green targets end around here. So some profit probably could have been taken right there near the top. If you did
Okay.
not do that, I would not be confident in this trade the moment a red star starts to show up. And
Yeah.
tomorrow is Thursday and Friday. So if this thing is not performing back to the upside by end of the week, there is a high probability Friday the red star comes, and that will probably give you an opportunity to exit this trade while still at a profit, unless it starts to crash tomorrow. So I would just tighten up that stop loss. I'll probably set the stop loss at today's low. And
Right.
unless it breaks the low, like it did here in the first 15 to 30 minutes, I would stay patient. But if we're trading below this low after 10 a.m., like if we're trading, if I was long from this area here and this trade was still profitable, and tomorrow it's trading below today's low after 10:15 in the morning Eastern time, I would probably just take whatever profit I can and redeploy that money elsewhere.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. Once again, not trading advice, just putting it out there, just what I would do. Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to get going and see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.